Hello, uh, this is Arun in Denmark podcast, a podcast for foreigners living in Denmark. Welcome, Prasanna, to the show. Give us a short little introduction about yourself.
Thank you so much, Arun. I'm so privileged to be part of your podcast video. Came to Denmark in 2013 November. So I was working as a database architect for Carlsberg, a big customer in Denmark. But I came to Carlsberg to work as a deputation. I came
Mm-hmm.
here on deputation. So I've been working for Carlsberg for about three and a half years, and then we during that tenure, I really as a family we really loved Denmark. As a country, it is so good for a family uh, to be here. So
Mm-hmm.
we decided why not move to Denmark instead of coming as a deputation and then working for a company temporarily. So I decided to pursue some opportunity outside
Mm-hmm.
my parent organization, and then I got a job in one of a leading pharma company in Denmark. So I was so happy to get the job, and then I slowly started settling down in Denmark,
Mm-hmm.
and then I really enjoyed after that. So that's about myself. And when you ask about my family, my wife, she's also working in a leading pharma company now. And my elder one, I have a elder daughter, and she is 13 years now, and she is going a private school in Denmark. And the second one is a little boy. He's also going to the same school, and he is 6 years old. So I personally love my kids to be part of the school they are studying. So it's very fantastic for them to be there, and we are so happy as a parent.
So you're pretty much well established in Denmark, and you have a well established society that caters all your needs on a daily basis. And thank you for the introduction. And that was a pretty
Yeah.
elaborated discussion that we had that you gave. Um, I wanted to
Yes.
know more
Thank you.
about deputation. You mentioned about deputation. What does deputation mean for the general audience who are looking at this podcast?
Uh, sure. Deputation is something like you work for a company or
Mm-hmm.
organization that is based out of one country, and
Mm-hmm.
then they get a project in a different
Mm-hmm.
country. So we go to the country where we are supposed to go, and then work for the customer in a foreign country. So this process is called deputation. So you are deputed from a parent organization to a client organization, and then work for say 1 or 2 years, or maybe what the contract says. So that is called deputation. During this deputation period, you will be taken care completely by your parent organization, right from schooling for your kids, and your housing and your salary, your compensation, everything. You don't need to worry about any tax or other obligations that you're supposed to do
So it
in
is
the
all
deputed country.
taken
So
care by
everything
the
will be taken
company.
care
It is,
by the parent organization. Yes.
yeah.
So
So
you
kind
have
of a
a lot of
soft
good
landing.
benefits out of it. Exactly. So it's very easy for you to just go and integrate in a foreign country with foreign people. They also have a lot of programs where you can easily integrate with people in a foreign country. So I was
Yeah.
so lucky to be part of that company. So they helped me in integrating with the Danish people in Denmark. So that really got me of a very good start, I
That's
would say.
such a that's a very good start as you mentioned out. So now that you have moved to Denmark, it has been quite some time. So how long have you been in Denmark, and what made you stay in Denmark?
As said, I'm in Denmark since 2013. The main
Okay.
reason for me to stay in Denmark is Denmark as a country. Uh, how can I put that? It's a country where you can live for yourself. You don't need to worry about anyone. You just live your life, live your lifestyle, live for yourself and for your family. Nobody will ask you any question about what you're doing here and why do you want to go there and why do you want to live like this. Nobody will ask you. So it's kind of I feel kind of a liberty living in Denmark. I would say it's my personal opinion and perception. In apart from it, you have a good welfare in Denmark, which I would say is top class. You don't find this welfare in other countries, and also Denmark as a country, they have values for them. So this social welfare is one of the top highly voted value for Denmark. So they actually mean it, the social welfare for them. So that also I like it so much to be part of the Denmark. But the main driving factor for me was the school. I really loved the schooling system in Denmark. Although my kids are going to private school here, one can ask, you haven't put your kids in public school, but how can you say that the schooling system is good? I really liked the private schooling system and also the public schooling system. So both are like two eyes for Denmark. So I really loved the education system overall in Denmark, which actually drove me to stay in Denmark, especially for my kids.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah. I
basically
think
from
it's
India. So
interesting that
if
you say
I,
about. Yeah, I'll try to reiterate the question. So you touched upon establishing a family, and then you find that the education system is what made you stay in Denmark, which is also from the personal point as a family man. It's a bold decision to actually consider your children's needs before your needs, but I could also see that the values in Denmark actually promotes having a good life apart from work, and that is also one of the biggest values that I resonate myself. What I think when I moved to Denmark, as I think I had the similar values that you had. I had a lot of liberty, and I had a lot of time, and I used to say to my parents, Denmark is a really good country to raise a kid because you have a lot of freedom. The children are getting exposed to, let's say, less competition and more towards studying without any pressure or
yeah,
any let's say societal influence.
yes.
They have a good establishment. Walk us through on what are the differences that you see growing up as a child in India versus growing up in Denmark being a child. How do you see this different? What are the first examples that you can relate to?
The first example or the first point I would say is security. So you get good security for the kids in Denmark. As I told before, it's more of liberty that we get here. So which I would translate directly to freedom, isn't it? So kids they can just move around freely in Denmark, which is very very vital for their growth and development. But whereas in other countries, I would say I don't know, but at least in India, it's not the case. So in Denmark, they give more importance and interest towards this liberty for the kids in the society and also in the school. So the main focus is kids right now. It's always the children comes first than any other thing in Denmark. That is what I learned when I speak to my colleagues in office or maybe some neighbors in my neighborhood. They always emphasize on the kids' growth and development in school and also in the society. I believe I think it's a pinnacle, right, in anyone's life, because your life revolves around the kids when you have kids. But when you don't have kids, it's a different story altogether. But when you have kids, your life revolves around the kids, because you actually, when you are thinking of buying a house, you just think about what is the proximity of my house to my kid's school. So that's the first point you'll always think about it. So
Yeah.
it's an example. So likewise, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything revolves around the kids. So I think Denmark is one of the country which gives more importance to child's development.
Great. I think that sums up pretty much your I would say contrasting development that you see in India versus growing up or raising a child in Denmark. Let's touch upon a topic about. So now it has been many years. I guess it's you moved in 2013, and now it's almost 2024ish. So over the last 10, 11
Yeah.
years, what do you think uh, that you want to share to someone who is trying to move to Denmark? That one piece of information that uh, personally that you want to advise foreigners moving with family. What is the thing that they should be prepared for when moving to Denmark from any other parts of the world?
Mm, I think it's a very difficult question, I would say. um, I can say the best advice I would give for the family, for any expats moving as a family to Denmark, is nothing to worry about, I would say. Just be yourself. Don't do any big planning as such, because everything is there when you come to Denmark, right from A to Z. So no need to worry about anything. Um, because when you come to Denmark uh, under an employment contract, definitely you'll be given an initial accommodation, and then there are several rental portals here where you can just hunt for a house, and then you can just look for a house, and then you can accommodate yourself. It is not a big deal here to find a house, although they say that the rental market is very high and it's very demanding, but still people find houses of their will, and then they can easily settle down. So the first advice would be like, don't worry about anything. Just be yourself. Come to Denmark, and you can easily settle down. But when you go into different categories, then I would say that uh, just look for a school, good school. That is very important because in Denmark you have some rating systems for the schools as well. They rate from 1 to 100, something like that. Because here you have different communes, which we call it as municipalities back home. So in each commune, they have their own schooling system, and then social welfare system. Then you have this sports clubs, everything, associations, everything is dedicated to that particular commune. So everything is being managed by the commune. So you have to decide which commune you're going to settle down here, and then you can look for the public schools. If you are opting to go for a public school, there is a portal where you can just look for which school will fit for my kid, and then you can choose a school, and based on that you can choose or you can just shortlist your housing based on that.
So
Expense
you're saying
wise, I
that it
would
is very
say
important to go with the
it
commune
is
first.
it yeah, exactly. And also, since you're coming here to work under an employment contract, then definitely you should look for where your company is located also. So you need to do all these calculations, and based on that, you can just look for schools, house, and other transportation arrangements, I would say.
That pretty much sums up what is the first thing that an expat has to decide on. You also spoke about the school rating system. I have a question regarding that. So, if a family moves from, let's say, a non-European country, and they already have kids who are going to school, now they might not be knowing Danish, but they wanted to start, continuing their
Yeah.
education in an English-based school, and they wanted to have an English-based education. Your advice on the international schools in Denmark, basically. What are the things that you think is good in international schools, and what are the expectations that one has to set before joining an international school? Because your children are going to an international school, I think you will be able to give some experiences. Could share your experiences on that.
Yeah. Uh, when you when you want to choose an international school for your kids, I would say there are a handful of international schools, international private schools in Denmark. So you can easily choose which one to go for because you don't have a lot of options here. So the private schools, especially the international private schools, are very, very limited in Denmark. So you can't choose between a lot of options here. So it has to be either this or that, or maybe the other one. So it goes like that. But all the private schools, all the international private schools in Denmark are top class. So they have a good education system. So they have a different syllabus in one school. For example,
Okay.
I don't know exactly about the syllabus, but you have this British syllabus and then US syllabus in different schools. So that you can choose upon, and then yeah. So that's a way you can just choose for the international schools, and also some schools you need to pre-apply. So what normally people do is when they know that yes, I'm going to come next year to Denmark, so they will in fact apply for the school when they are in India or maybe another country. So they start applying for the schools before they come to Denmark, so that the application will be processed. So when they come in, they can get the seat immediately. So that's a way some people also do. So they actually pre-book, pre-apply, and then get a seat in some good international schools here.
That's
So
cool.
that's one way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other way is your your employer may also help in some time to get onboarded to a school. So they have a tie-up with some schools here, so some international schools. So they help you to move your kids to the preferred school. So that is another way.
Okay. That brings a lot of choices to make for the expats. Moving on to the next segment, which is now that you have let's say an established process, and your children are going to school, attending schools, walk us through on what are the amenities that the student gets apart from schooling. There could also be other benefits for children's. It could be, for example, swimming or any other allied sports. And as parents, what are the things that you prioritize for the children's, and that you think it's a very good suggestion that you could also put forward to newcomers?
Yeah, sure. I think that's an important question, and also I want to touch upon that because I love sports. So it's part of me. So and sports is very important for any kids. It's not only academics that they need to put focus on. It should be the equal focus should be on sports. It can be any sports. It can be a normal walk also. So I would say that is also a sport. So as long as you do some physical exercise, I think it's really good. There are clubs, as I told before. It's all based out of commune. So in each commune, you have the sports facilities. They provide a public clubs for all kind of sports here, starting from badminton, uh, basketball, swimming, karate. So all kind of sports, even tennis, cricket also is here in Denmark. So they have clubs for all kind of sports. So people can choose to which sport they can go in. This is on commune. So when you go to some private schools, they also provide opportunity for some sporting activities, kind of after school activities. So they also provide a lot of options to play sports as part of the school. So these are the options that you get actually.
Okay, I have a specific question, and that is, can students be part of a club and represent the club, or they could sign up to sporting activities within the school? How does it work?
Okay, it works like this. Let's say I will take my daughter as an example. She is pretty much interested in badminton. So what we thought is, in fact, she don't know what the sport is, but we have an opportunity here where people can come and trial different sport. So that is for free. So they can go to any club and they can choose any sport for that case, and then they can try it out. That is for free. And if people like it, it's not only one time. They can do twice or maybe thrice, and they can try it out. Because every time, let's say, if my daughter is going for one time and she's trying badminton, maybe it might be her bad day on the day, so she will not like it. So they give another opportunity to come and try. So they get some opportunities like 2 or 3 times, and then they can go and try it out and see how it works out for them. And if they like it, they can just enroll for that sport. So it's like it works like this. So they apply for that particular sport in a club, that is in a commune, and then they get they will be part of the club for that particular sport, and we have to pay some money, and then they get the seat for that particular sport in the club, and they start practicing and training. So my daughter, she is going for badminton in my commune, and she's practicing twice a week. Then she plays internally within the club with different players, and she gets some good experience out of it. And also the trainers, they focus more on physical fitness. It's not like they just go in and then play from the first minute. No, it's not like that. They have to go and warm up. So it's for, let's say, if the training is for 1 hour, they actually warm up for about 15-20 minutes, which is actually good, I would say, because they warm up completely from for the entire body, which actually makes the muscles really flexible, so that they are ready to play and give 100%, in fact, more than 100% while they're playing. And also the instructors come in person and then instruct what to do and what is their weak point and what is their strongest point. So they pick all these things and then give information back to the player. So which is good actually for them, so that they can improve and they can improvise on the strongest point. So which actually helps. So my daughter, she goes twice a week to badminton, and in addition to that, we can also enroll to an open tournament where all the club players from different communes come and compete in a tournament, and then they actually get a lot of experience out of it, because when different players coming for this open tournament, they have different competence within that particular sport, because
Of course.
they play differently, right? So they get good amount of experience out of it. So which is really good, and the winner will be rewarded with some medals, and the runners up. It goes on like that.
Yeah.
So the point is that to answer your question, they can represent the club here. So to be part of this open tournament, we have to pay as a entrance fee. So if you are representing a club, the club will pay 50% of the fee, and you have to pay only 50%.
Wow.
So which is also a good thing from commune and the sports club,
So
which
they
actually
kind of
motivates
support
parents
the sport.
to engage in. Yeah. So we also get some monetary benefit from the clubs to be part of the club actually. And club, they actually motivates the good performing people in the clubs also every year.
Yeah.
So they have this
Yeah.
a party, end of a year party, and then they facilitate the top players, and it is actually a fun. And also, in addition to the sports, I also feel the extra benefit my daughter is getting is she is going to a private school where Danish as a language is only a second language for her. She learns all the subjects in English, but when she goes to these clubs, she also interacts with other Danish friends, and she makes friends, and she has a local community around the neighborhood, and she develops a language also, which is very, very important. So I feel it's the most powerful thing, the sports and the clubs in Denmark, which actually
Yeah.
empowers the kids' physical health and also the social health as well.
Now that we have touched about a lot of other topics, I wanted to ask you personally, what do you do in your spare time? How do you spend your time apart from spending time with families, raising a kid, and working? What do you do for yourself, and how do you spend your weekends? Just for an example. Yeah.
Sure. We have a lot of we have a lot of options in Denmark as a parent, because you have this good work-life balance in Denmark, where you work for the hours that you are supposed to work, and then you are free. And if even if you're working just 10 or 15 minutes after that, they will come and ask you, why do you want to work after that? So you have a very good work-life balance. So you get a lot of time, and also the transportation in Denmark is not very chaotic as India, where we we spend a lot of time in traffic back home, especially myself.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in traffic actually in doing the commute. But in Denmark, we save a lot of time there, so we get a lot of time in spending in concentrating on other activities. So what I normally do is I go for a walk in the evening, and also I go and support my kids when they play badminton, or when they do swimming. I just go and help them along with them in the club. And during weekends, we go for a hike around Denmark, and even we go to Sweden and other countries as well, which are nearby here. So, and also we make a lot of good friends by doing that. So we get together, go for a hike, and then talk with each other, share some good memories and current affairs and a lot of other stuff. So it gives a good vibe when you do that. In addition to this, these clubs also provide opportunities for the parents where you can enroll yourself to play badminton. For example, I know you are a very good badminton player, so you can just go and enroll yourself in a club and then play badminton. So because there is a separate section for adults. So all the adults can come and play together, and then you can make network out of there. So that is another opportunity. And sometimes during summer, we also play cricket together here. Cricket is not very popular as India, but still people play. Denmark also has a national team, national cricket team here, both men and women. So
Okay.
we also go and play cricket during summer months, where these grounds in Denmark is a multi-purpose ground. So the football ground can be used as a cricket ground for some about 3 or 4 hours in the morning. So we go and play cricket there. So you have a lot of options in Denmark. The only thing is you need to have that will to go and do something out. Simply you can sit in the home and then watch Netflix and other social medias, and you can just spend like that also.
Yeah.
But if you want to go and spend outside, definitely there are a lot of options, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I think, Prasanna, I think we have covered a lot of topics. Life as an expat, you being a parent, what are the opportunities that you wanted to share? We also covered opportunities for kids, raising a kid. What are the opportunities outside schools, not just education, but also sports? We also delved into your free time activities, which is preferably badminton. And yeah, I think for viewers listening or watching this podcast, this would have brought definite value. If you're trying to move to Denmark, if you're already in Denmark, then this will be an absolute uh, go-to suggestions which Prasanna has mentioned. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Thank you, Prasanna, for being on the show. It was a pleasure having you, and have a good one.
Thank you.